Greetings, friends. I'm Dash Daring, Ace Blobfest reporter, and I'm here to welcome you to day 2 of our weekend-long event, Blobfest 2021, The House of Harris. We're coming to you live from beautiful Phoenixville, Pennsylvania, inside the Colonial Theater, where we're happy to report we're open. That's right, friends. The Colonial Theater is open once again for your movie-going pleasure, and we can't wait to see you. You may be wondering, gall darn it, Dash, if the Colonial's open, why can't we just have Blobfest in person? Which is a very good question if Dash does say so himself. See, there's a handful of reasons while, yes, the Colonial Theater is open for your patronage, we still have everyone's safety in mind and feel it would be irresponsible to host such a massive event indoors so soon while a worldwide pandemic is only just beginning to wind down. Also, if you saw last night's portion of the show, then you know that Dash has successfully recaptured the Blob and is storing it in the theater, where we're forced to keep the climate colder than usual to keep the beast at bay. Frankly, it's far too uncomfortable in here to host an event of any kind, and Dash is sorry he didn't bring a sweater. Luckily, Dash has plenty of time to lair up all through today's show. We'll be taking you on a tour of the Colonial Theater, and we plan on showing you how we're going to keep the Blob, and in turn, all of you, safe. Why don't we get started in the Colonial's main attraction, the 1903 Theater, which, as you recall, the Blob attacked more than 60 years ago. We're here in the historic 1903 Theater, the Colonial's main screening room, where, in 1958, hundreds of unsuspecting moviegoers were nearly eaten alive by that gooey, grotesque monstrosity, the Blob. Just above Dash's head is the infamous projection booth, where the attack began. You'll even notice we have this beautiful Blob plaque to commemorate all of those delicious departed souls. The Blob is significant in that it was an independent monster movie filmed here in Pennsylvania, right outside of Philadelphia, and it featured Stephen McQueen in his feature film debut. Not only did it boast a cast of extraordinary veteran actors and lots of young newcomers, it was also shot in color, which wasn't very common for low-budget monster movies of the era. And thank goodness, too. Could you imagine the Blob in black and white? Now, Dash has no problem with black and white in general. Many of Dash's favorite movies are coated in beautiful grayscale. But there's something about the Blob as an icon that just begs to be witnessed in color. Unless it's coming after you, in which case you probably don't care what it looks like, as long as you can escape to safety. The Blob was released in 1958 by Paramount Pictures, and it was originally the B picture for the black and white sci-fi chiller, I Married a Monster from Outer Space. However, the Blob got such positive reception that all future releases of the pairing had the Blob moved to the A picture of the double feature, and it's not hard to see why. The Blob holds up with its incredible use of practical effects, suspenseful score provided by Ralph Carmichael, and of course, the earworm of a title track co-written by Burt Bacharach and Mac David. Earlier, Dash mentioned this was the feature film debut of Steve McQueen, billed as Stephen McQueen in the credits. But it was also the big screen debut of his co-star, Anita Corso, as well. If she looks familiar to some of you, she should. Corso would go on to be a regular cast member on The Andy Griffith Show in the early 1960s. But now, Dash invites you to settle in, pop your popcorn if you haven't picked up some courtesy of the Colonial's curbside pickup program, and enjoy our afternoon matinee showing of the 1958 classic, The Blob.